What's up, everybody? Destroyer here. Welcome back to another cast of Rise of the Witch King patch 2.2 version 6. Today we have a 1v1 on Fords of Isen II, which was actually a tournament game from the finals, I think, of a tournament in May or something. I don't know. Something like that. But yeah, I didn't follow it too much, but I'm going to have a look at this game now because apparently it was a pretty good one. So let's see what we got here today. We have Andy as the Dwarves in the top left, and in the bottom right we have Muadd girl. So Muadd, of course, as the men. So we have men versus Dwarves. Andy's got pretty solid dwarf play, so this should be pretty good. And of course, Muadd is pretty decent with men as well. So hopefully it's a good match. And it looks like we got a, of course, barracks start going down for Muadd. Andy going for a Hall of Warriors, going for a Guardian to start as his starting units. And of course, we'll probably have Soldiers of Gondor coming out for Muadd, which we do, of course. And he's continuing to get his farm production going. And then he's moving his builder off. He's also scouting around with his builder, which is what you want to do, because Dwarves, of course, will try to throw a cheeky forward mine somewhere and catch you by surprise, which is really what the Dwarves try to do. Dwarves, of course, in 2.2 don't have the element of surprise, because you can see who they are on the loading screen. But they can still surprise you, of course, with their placement. You'll just know they're going to show up at some point. You just gotta know from where, so you gotta keep looking. We've got our first battalion of Dwarves out, Guardians on the way. Looking lavish as ever. Their HD skins, so sick. And we got some Gondor soldiers on the way out to the base of Andy right now. Power-wise, we have, of course, Rally Call for Muadd, and we probably have Rally Call I'd expect for Andy. Because otherwise, you never go rebuild, and you obviously would never go heal, unless you have a hero, really, as a starting power, so in a 1v1 at least. So usually you'll find the players will pick a Rally Call, because otherwise your unit won't do as well as the enemy's unit. It's just kind of a counterbalance thing, really. Looks like Muadd is trying to position himself in between his barracks, or his farm rather. Return this poor farmer just tending his crops and these Dwarven Guardians. And now they're going to fight that to the death in front of Farmer Joe. Nope. I don't know. Let's see who is going to win this one. Guardians, of course, don't have shield wall. But the Gondor soldiers are in shield wall and they're in defensive. These are in just defensive. I'm kind of curious to see who would win a 1v1. Even if it's a slow one. Screw whatever else is happening in the map. I'm pretty sure Guardians win this matchup. And it seems to be the case as the Guardians are slowly whittling down the Gondor soldiers. Seems like the Guardians are just as tanky, pretty much, without a shield wall. And yes, Guardians will definitely win that one. I could have told you that beforehand, but I wanted to see it in real life. Real life? Live action? I don't know. Probably not real life. If I see a dwarf in real life, it's far different. I'll tell you that much. Alright, we got some Gondor Cav on the field. Gondor Knights, of course, from Muadd, from the stables there. And that'll definitely help him out. Dwarves can... That was unusual. He killed the unit from a mile away. I don't know how that worked, but it looks like Andy is going to lose a builder here. And that is very unfortunate. A costly loss for the Dwarves, definitely. Now he can't throw up his forward mines. And of course it's going to set him back 500 big ones if he wants to get his builder back. Or he's just going to have to run off one builder, which is not ideal in anyone's book, because you can't expand as much. You can't get your buildings building. It halves your production. That's the only way to put it. So it's not ideal. I know he'll either need to get that back, or he'll just have to run around with that. We'll see. We got some Rohan Spearmen on the field now for Muadd. He's also got Gondor soldiers there, Gondor soldiers here, continuing to fight this battalion of Guardians that just won't die. And it looks like they have used the charge attack to give themselves a buff. It's basically a rally call. 50% armor and damage, plus they do that little charge thing when they do it. So it's pretty good, but it does not stack with rally call. I was informed, so... If you have rally call affecting you guys already, you probably don't want to use it, because it's just a waste. Wait till it runs off and then use it. and you get a buff again. You basically have to rally call twice as long, which is pretty nice. It's actually generally worth getting your guys banner carriers, in my opinion, for dwarves. Apparently in the next version it'll be much easier to get banner carriers or something. I don't quite know. We'll see, I guess, in the future. Whenever that is. Okay. There we go. Got some phalanxes out for Andy. Looks like Muadd has got a little raiding party here. Gonna do some damage to Andy's economy. Andy's economy is already... It's actually ahead. No, they're at the same now. Both having 400 command point limit. So they both have the same amount of farms at the current moment. We don't have any leveled up farms yet, so none of that is taking effect. When your farm levels up, it does give you more command points and more money. So you can't always judge by who has more farms. But generally speaking, you want to get your farms level 3, of course, always, and you want to keep them safe, because they're very, very valuable at that point. And it takes a long time, of course, to get to that point. Looks like we have Brand on the field. With the HD edition skin. I've heard a lot of complaints about the portrait used for Brand. I personally don't think it's that bad, so I don't see the complaints. I think he looks pretty good myself, but hey, whatever. To each their own, I suppose. You can't please everybody. Alright, we got a little defense going on here from Muadd. It's going to buff phalanxes and guardians trying to take him down. Looks like they are succeeding. Since they have the buff and the Gondor soldiers do not. They are getting kind of butchered there. Muadd is throwing up a archery range. He's also got a well here. Heal up his units. Bran is moving in with some phalanxes from the north. Bran can actually toggle sword mode as well in 2.2. Pretty sure that was added last... Maybe this patch version or last patch version? Because Bran didn't used to have toggle sword mode. But now he does. And you'll find that 99% of the time he's never in it. So it doesn't make a damn bit of difference. But it is nice that you can do it. Same with Faramir. I mean, generally speaking, archer heroes are meant to be used as archers. The only time you ever want to use them in melee is to try and take out a building, I guess. Because obviously the archery part is not going to be very effective against that. But Brand, if you're using him in sword mode and not in bow mode against units, I think you're doing it wrong. Because slam shot is huge. And his range is very good and damage is very good. It's best just to use him like so. Well, it seems Andy's in a pretty good spot with his Brand. He's going to keep leveling him up. He's going to get some nice slam shots in. Ooh, he can get a sweet slam shot in there. Let's see, he's going to... Yeah! Look at that. Not too many died. Four guys of the battalion died there, looks like. But he's going to continue sniping them. So Brandon's going to get some nice levelage. If that's a word. It is now. So that'll be good for him. We have a Men of the West builder over here. So he was keeping an eye on this mineshaft. But he gets stabbed for his troubles, and now he's going to go flee home. Well, this is not home. Flee into the enemy's lands, I suppose. In a long way home. We do have 2 guardians and a phalanx in the mineshaft currently. So Brandon's going home. Doesn't want to tangle too many guys, of course. I think maybe at this point a hero from the Men of the West might be in order. So maybe Muadd will be cooking up a Boromir or Faramir or something like that. I'd say that would be a good thing. He might not be, of course. And it very well probably isn't. But I think it'd be a good addition to his army. Especially if he can get it up to leadership level and give all these troops leadership. That'll help him against the Dwarves immensely. As we'll see, there's a nice slam shot there. Slam shot's particularly better against archers, as you'll see. They have weaker armor, so they have a general tendency to die easier to it. Sometimes you'll shoot a tanky unit and it won't actually kill it, so you need to be choosy at what you shoot with it. But it's still fun to use. There's a Hobbit summon now for Andy, so he's bringing forth a bunch of Hobbits to help him in this battle. And they're going to have a little firefight right in the front of Muadd's base. That sends his cav through. Looks like most of them lived, but they did kill a lot of guys, so that was a good choice. He can micro his cav around. get the hobbits killed, then he won't have much to worry about there. Although, big slam shot from Brand once again, killing a lot of Rohan spearmen. They're pretty weak armor as well, so they do die fairly nicely to that. Brand should take care of this cav fairly easily. As you see there, cav not having much chance against him. But I would definitely say that Muadd is on the defensive, and he is not in the best of positions at the moment. His army is superior. He does have a bigger force, but we do have a hero that's very useful in leveling up. And of course, Indy is by no means without army, and he's getting a battle wagon as well as more army. So he'll be having more dwarves and some battle wagon support on the way. The battle wagon support will be huge because of the very light amount of pikes in Muadd's army. As you'll notice here, his composition is mostly Gondor archers with a slight spattering of Gondor soldier. And that's not going to end well for him, not at all. So that is not a wise decision, sending those forth by themselves. He's probably not expecting the dwarves to have a battle wagon, but of course you should always expect the unexpected. Yeah, I just saw Brand in sword mode. I saw him swing it. You can't hide. I'm gonna hit on that farm. I'm waiting for the battle wagon. Where is it? There it is. Oh yeah. Oh my god, this is gonna be brutal. Poor Muadd. He was so young, so full of life. And now everything is dead. Of course he did lose momentum. He'll have to go for another run. As Rise of the Witch King 2.2, you do have more of a momentum kind of feature to your cav charges as opposed to Beef Me 2, where you can just kind of trample through things without any as much. It's more of a soft counter to a hard counter system kind of thing. And we got Theoden on the field for Muadd, looking glorious as ever. And he will, of course, he's actually a great choice here because, of course, he can go onto mount and stop the battle wagon if he wants to, but he's also just using him as his leadership hero, which is smart because the Men of the West with leadership will have a chance here. That is not particularly a strong hero, but he's just being there as a banner carrier, basically. And it looks like Andy also has a banner carrier on his battle wagon, so leadership will be in effect for the dwarves as well. After it's done running over hobbits, that is. They have their duty to do. Duty to do? Sounds weird to say. But it's like Muadd will defend here nicely. Not taking too many casualties. Thunder Knights against the battle wagon on the other hand. Battle wagon does lose. Battle wagon is not good against other cavalry. That is the downside of the battle wagon. So, even with the pike upgrade, it's not really particularly going to help you against cav. But he did lure them into some pikes. That was very nice. Those battle wagon's almost dead. I like how they just drive around stabbing at all times. Oh dear. We get a barrage going down, obliterating Muadd's army there. And now it looks like Andy will start pushing through. He'll be able to get this farm killed and a majority of these units. Those Thunder Knights are still frozen there in fear. Most of them are dead now. Not all of them, thankfully, for Muadd. He can go send them back to heal up. Save himself 500 resources, as that is the cost of Thunder Knight. So it's definitely economical to not get them all murdered. Theoden level 4 can start giving experience if he so desires. You can actually right-click these and auto-cast them in 2.02, which is kind of cool. I learned. So your guys will just automatically give experience to troops around him or whatever, every time it's off cooldown. Which is pretty useful if you want to get some level 5 troops without having to worry about it. And of course he gets Glorious Charge at level 6, which is pretty massive if you have cav, which he's got some. Thunder Knights aren't the best cav. Rohirrim would definitely be an upgrade, but they're not bad, and they're better than some factions only cav, so they'll do it a pinch, I suppose. If Cave Troll, on the other hand, is going to pinch some heads as he is ruining these pikes, but he is actually dying. We have a co-op alliance against the troll here. And now they'll take to killing each other. It looks like the Phoenix is definitely going to get the benefit of that. They get the experience from the troll and from killing these guys, I think. So they're level 2-ish. So that's being brought over here to harass. Definitely what you want to do is against the dwarves. You want to harass the dwarves as much as possible. I mean, you want to harass any enemy as much as possible, but shutting down mine shafts is pretty crucial to crippling the dwarven movement, as you might expect. They're very slow. They need those mines to teleport around the map quickly. If you get rid of all those mines, they can't do anything but push out slowly. So that's ideally what you want them to do. But this is a scenario you don't like to be in. When you try to bring troops out as a dwarf, and your guys get stuck. And if there was an AoE hero here who had splash damage, he could have killed your entire army. That is a serious danger for dwarves. And a serious downside to dwarves. And it's just the exiting of the mine shafts. It's really not ideal as a player. But I guess if you're careful enough, you won't get your entire army murdered, I suppose. And he's got a pretty sizable force, though. Looks like Muadd's got one as well, but he's healing up and camping there. He does have a bunch of Athelian Rangers. What is he doing? Oh, they're Athelians. So yeah, Athelian Rangers definitely going to help here. We don't have any Men of Dale for the dwarves. He's got hobbits, which do have power, of course, in their own way, but they do not have the range of Athelians. And therefore, the damage of Athelians is going to be higher as well, just because they'll be shooting more. I mean, their damage is better anyway, I would imagine. But those can be helpful until they go away, at least. They are summoned ones. There's the Vile Galadriel, causing some fear into the enemy. It looks like the majority of the enemy didn't actually break in fear, which is interesting. I've actually noticed that myself when playing. It's like, pretty sure leadership does not give you resistance to fear, so it's, I don't know why some units don't like rout. Basically, is the word I'll use for a total war word. They're not running away in fear. Maybe it's just a bug, who knows. Sometimes you have glitches. Nothing is perfect, but it should be. Everything should be perfect. Maybe not. Looks like we have a big clash in the center here. Dwarves against the men. Will Muadd be able to break this line of dwarves? He's throwing down some long shots. Trying to pepper the dwarves there with some arrow fire. And Brand is focusing down the Athelians. Looks like Muadd, not feeling confident about this attack, he's going to pull back. As the dwarves are just too strong. More dwarves, of course, being brought out. We'll see another dwarf join the fray. A dwarf hero, maybe, would be a good call. King Dane would be a great addition. Only for leadership, really, though. Which you can actually just get a banner carrier on a battle wagon if you wanted, and not use King Dane. It's perfectly viable. We do have a Boromir on the field, though. King Dane would actually help against that. And that is actually pretty big, because King Dane's level 2 or 3 abilities gives him resistance, and the dwarves resistance to fear abilities. Of course, Boromir's Horn of Gondor stuns enemy with terror, so you'll have immunity to that. So that's actually very, very useful for dwarves. King Dane's a little expensive, of course, but could be worthy investment. We do have more dwarves there. Looks like Andy's busy fighting down here as well. Like going all over the place. There you go. There's a prime example of Brand in sword mode. You don't see it very often. You don't see it at all with the smoke, but that's the way you really, ideally, you should use the sword mode. Oh, the Men of Dale summon getting countered by the Rohirrim summon. Very nice. And also just trampling the crap out of the dwarves, because why not? You don't get... It's no loss to lose these Rohirrim. You want to use them as aggressively as possible, really. Try and kill as many units. Forget about their lives. Just Rohirrim lives don't matter. At least when they're summoned. These are level 5 Athelians. Very nice. And you'll notice Muadd is just using his Theoden a lot, but not actually using his Theoden. He's just standing next to his archers, getting experience passively by his archers, getting kills, which is very smart. And of course, he's just standing there giving leadership, which is 30% damage to his archers, which is also being very beneficial. Theoden's not very good. He's just not a very strong hero. You don't want him really in the fray. You kind of want to keep him like that. Use him how Muadd is using him. Although when you're using Cav, you definitely want to utilize Theoden a lot. And it's not like he can't fight against the Dwarves. But will he be better near your archers instead? Probably. Because he's getting experience from the archers. And now he can already use his Glorious Charge. If Muadd gets enough Cav on the field, he can utilize that, maybe. And it looks like we have a Gimli. Nice. I wasn't expecting a Gimli first. That could be a good addition. Oh, excuse me. Usually you see Gloin or King Dane before Gimli. Not so much King Dane maybe, but definitely always see Gloin first. But not this game. Straight for Gimli. Gimli could be game-changing with his Slayer ability, taking out enemy heroes with no problem. Sleep attack is very good, and he's just generally a very hard hero to kill. He doesn't have leadership in Rise of the Witch King, because that would be pretty OP. I'm surprised he still has leadership in Beef Me too, to be honest, but apparently it still works there, so that's fine. But for Rise of the Witch King, I think it's a good thing it's not there. Thor's already strong enough, usually. In most engagements, Dwarves actually do very well. As long as you're obviously have a good composition, you're not just throwing a bunch of swordsmen and a bunch of archers or what have you, but Dwarven units are just hard to kill. They're very strong, dependable units, sturdy. And looks like these ones have heavy armor on, so that'll make them even better. So Andy's going for armored dwarves with hero supports. A very good combo. And Muadd is definitely a struggle to deal with this, I think. And also Andy is attacking from multiple fronts. That's something you also want to do as well. Getting your enemy's base surrounded by mine shafts is like, it's nice. You just want mine shafts everywhere. Pull out dwarves here, pull out dwarves here. You can have mine here, pull out dwarves here, and just attack from all fronts. It's going to be incredibly hard for your enemy to actually defend all these farms. And you're just going to get lots of power points and neutralize your enemy's economy. Brand should really deal with these. He's trying to burst down Boromir. Ooh, he got him close. That was the Beast Slayer, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. He's level 10, holy crap. We do have Tom Bombadil being summoned in. He's going to deal with these dwarves. This Tom Bombadil is a nasty being, as we all know. I think the addition of the armor is definitely helping out Andy. Look at this. This one pikeman is taking forever to die from the arrow tower in the fort because of that armor. Armor and hold ground stance, of course, gives you your increase to your armor. Gimli needs to be a bit careful though. There's a lot of arrows flying into his head. So he needs to be a bit cautious. More dwarves being brought in over there. It does look like Theoden and a single Rohan spearman. Maybe his cousin, I don't know, is taking on that farm. A tunnel, rather. I would like to see Theoden go onto his mount and use Glorious Charge with these cav, though. That'd be kind of cool. I mean, it would be helpful, as it is pretty good. Glorious Charge, of course. Makes him very, very difficult to kill. There's a barrage. That's going to shut... Oh my god, that's really going to shut Muadd down now. His army is decimated. His archer range is gone. His stables is gone. What the hell was that? Oh. It's like... What? That was the mighty catapult from the citadel that I didn't see. So now Muadd has to take down a citadel while Dwarven heroes are defending it. That's going to be very difficult. Looks like we're up to 14 power points for Muadd after getting some Rohan allies. 275 to 950 command point limits. And Andy, of course, has got his 25 after he gave his 15. Barrage, he's got 374 and 925. So, I mean, Muadd's economy is still pretty... It's doing alright. He's still got a lot of farms in the far left. He's by no means out of this game. I definitely say Andy is in a superior position right now. Especially with the addition of that. And the Dwarven heroes just being monstrous. And he doesn't have upgrades, of course. He's using crap tier spearmen. Instead of tower guards, of course, which is not going to help him in any way. He just needs something in the front to tank while his archers try and bring down these dwarves. So he's trying to do that. He's also getting his archer range back as well. I mean, really, the only way he's going to... Oh, he can't even deal with Gimli once he gets level 5. I was going to say he's going to need Aragorn. But Gimli will still wreck Aragorn and Blade Master with his Slayer. So yeah, he's in trouble. Here we go, we got Archer Summon on Archer Summon there. Men of Dale against Men of Dunedain. It does look like there's just a lot of archers for Muadd. He's gonna clean house there easily. Theoden's gonna run up and give himself a valiant swing. Look at him go. He's got a glorious shield as well. Look at shield. Looks like Muadd's throwing on a siege works. Probably to try and get rid of this. It has been equipped with a catapult expansion and a X tower. So that is something he could also give it masterwork munitions, which is an upgrade, of course, just like the fort. You can buy to give the catapults and these upgraded damage. Pretty effective. If only it was a little closer, his catapult could actually start hitting the fort. I think he maybe made a mistake putting it a bit too far away. Or maybe he did that on purpose. I have no idea. But if it's just like here, he probably could have hit the fort with it. So it's too bad it wasn't just slightly closer for him. So now he's going to need something. Just take down that fortress. And the army, of course. Look at Theoden go. He's so fast. Look at this. Clash of the Weaklings. Well, this will be the thumbnail of the video for sure. Doesn't get much better than that, eh? Brand against King Theoden. King Brand, King Theoden. No one will ever die in that battle. Ugh. Disgusting. That's not true, though. They would actually... I don't know who would win. I mean, see, I felt like Bran was winning that battle, but I didn't look at Bran's health. If I could find him, I would. He's in a mine, though. A mine! And I can't look. Oh well. There we go. The catapults are finally starting to get some action. Now things are getting close enough to the fort. The citadel, rather. Looks like Muadd's put a few troops a bit too close as well. You should really give this masterwork munitions. That'd be pretty huge. I know I would. I'm sure he's very busy doing other things, which is fair enough. Brand's out there. Looks like more dwarves being brought in there. He should go for like siege hammers or... Well, he's got forged blades, so that could turn the tide. Fully upgraded dwarves, forged blades, and heavy armor against unupgraded men of the West. I think you know where that would go. But one thing I think Andy should have is some men of Dale, or even some axe throwers. He's literally just not gone for archer support at all, which is weird. I mean, he's doing pretty well without it, obviously, but generally, you'd have some archer support in there. And we've got Hobbit Summon trying to get rid of this trebuchet. Unless the hero hobbits can do it. Frodo can't. He's dead. Oh, there goes Pippin. Is that Pippin? Maybe. There goes Samwise. They're all dead. They're dead, Jim. Unfortunate. So he will still have a siege weapon to help him out. And Tom Bombadil as well. We got a Hobbit Summon for Muadd as well there. And with a big Sonic song, Tom Bombadil sends most of the dwarves onto their asses. I do think the dwarves will probably lose this engagement, I would say. Gimli has killed King Theoden, though. Well, Gimli by himself, maybe savage everything. Nope, he's wisely choosing to get him out of there while he's quick. A wise choice indeed. And Bran is going to sit there and take pop shots until he can no longer do so. Well, there you go. Now he can kind of hit it because it's splash damage from the rock after hitting this. If he had the masterwork munitions, though, he could have killed it quicker. Unfortunate. Well, he still managed to shoot it quicker than the trebuchet. There is the Rohirrim Summon. He's going to try and bring down the citadel. Citadel doesn't have any sort of oil cask or anything, so it's gonna. They're okay to stand around it. That's what I'm getting at. And I'd imagine Andy does have rebuild. Is that off cooldown or not? Don't think it is. Gimli's wounded. You distract him while he catches his breath. He's gonna try and get him into the mine, I'd imagine. Hopefully. Just pull back a little bit. There you go. Very nice. Is that a Dalian banner carrier? Interesting. Very interesting. Well, Boromir's fighting for his life over here. He's level 7 now. He's been beasting it up, looks like. And the dwarves with heavy armor forged blades fighting it out to the death. I think Muadd should be able to. Oh, maybe not. Beast Slayer arrow apparently killed the catapult. Obviously, Beast Slayer arrow is supposed to be used against beasts, really. Extra damage to flying enemies and severe damage to monsters, but it's still pretty decent single target killing. It just does extra damage to beasts, so it's more specified for that, but it still works. Kind of like wounding arrow for Faramir. It's pretty good at just doing pretty good damage to heroes, but not really specified for it. Ooh, Gimli needs to be careful. He's going to get cut down by Boromir. Flipper Andy, he got him out of there. He didn't get him out of there. How'd he die? Is there a Faramir or something? Oh, there is a Faramir. Faramir with a wounding arrow for the win, killing Gimli. There's an earthquake, though. Obliterating the base of Muadd. That's going to set him back a lot. I know Andy should really push while he has a chance here. Try and finish this game. Upgraded dwarves are going to be hard to stop with this little amount of Men of the West without upgrades. Unless he gets... Oh, he does have the Horn of Gondor. Oh, never mind. He doesn't have much at all now, as the mighty catapult has been fired from the Citadel. So yeah, it just needs more troops. He should really go for a Demolisher. That would seal the deal, because then Men of the West would really have to focus on the Demolisher. And it'd be hard to stop. Hard as hell, in fact. And then he'd be able to pick off all his units while he's trying to stop it. And kill him. But he's going to starve him out, it looks like. Cut off his food supply. It's wise. There goes the rebuild once again. This thing is not going away. I don't know why he's not giving it the upgrade. I'm sure he hasn't money. I mean, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he does. But of course, money can be spent all kinds of ways. So fair enough. He's got barrage ready. He could actually obliterate this little gathering of Men of the West if he wants. He probably should. I would. Yeah, definitely. There you go. He's going to use it there. Obliterate his army. Stop his building from happening. Also get rid of that trebuchet and then process. And then he can move in with his army unopposed. I thought he built some Men of Dale. I was like, oh, first battalion of Men of Dale. Nope, they're summoned. They're not real. They're phantoms. And they'll despawn here very shortly. There we go. Leaving only a battalion of guardians and phalanxes alive by themselves. We do have 3 Men of the West heroes, though. Which can be difficult to deal with. These aren't level 5, so they don't have fear resist, nor do they have King Dane's support. I'm surprised Andy didn't go for King Dane's support, to be honest. I think King Dane against Boromir is golden. But he opted not to do that, which is fair enough. He's doing pretty well without him, but I think he would have helped a little bit. And of course, King Dane's abilities aren't bad by any means. Mighty Rush is actually pretty... Is it Mighty Rush? Or is that ability? Let's charge that. I think it is called Mighty Rush. It's a pretty good buff, debuff thing. And of course, Summon Royal Guard is pretty big. 3 level 5 upgraded dwarves, level 8, I think. Something like that. And they don't feed the enemy tons of power points in 2.02, which is great. So they're actually useful. Unlike the old versions of Beef Me 2, where you would summon them and the enemy would kill them and get like Army of the Dead off of it. Because it was just a bunch of level 5 guys that gave you experience. It was pretty bad. Thankfully, a lot of those bugs in really stupid effects that happened from the old patches. The old days, the dark days, have been rectified in 2.02, thankfully. So we don't have to deal with that. There's still some, of course. You can still get power points from things like Army of the Dead and all that, which isn't ideal, but there's no real easy fix for that. So it's unfortunate. We got a G9 range or something. Gonna try and corner Brand, it looks like. Take him out. And they will be able to do so. There's far too many archers for Brand to ever be able to kill that many. He's gonna try and save him with a summoned citadel. Now we have 2 citadels around Muadd's base. He did not manage to get him out in time, though. Unfortunate. Brand has fallen. He can't actually revive Brand from here, though, if he wanted to. He also has a mighty catapult on this. Things are looking very bleak for Muadd, I would say. As Andy has surrounded his base in citadels. Oh, and those mighty catapults are just being brutal. Now he's 2 mighty catapults in range of his fort. That is never a good sign at all. Gimli's also back on the field, looks like. And Muadd is reduced to nothing, really. He's got a few farms over here thrown down, it looks like, just to get command points. Because they're not very spaced out. They're not going to be making much. Oh, but he has summoned Army of the Dead. Tom Bombadil kicking Gimli down, so he actually has to take the full brunt of the Army of the Dead. Tom Bombadil is actually a great hero stopper, as he just dances into your hero and your hero falls on his ass. It's great. There you go. Muadd Girl has been defeated. And he is victorious. Very cool. So there you go. That was a pretty good match. Started getting very one-sided for the Dwarf at the end, but that's good. I love seeing the Dwarves getting played well. So yeah, well played to Andy on that game. That was pretty nice. And of course, Muadd put up a one hell of a fight as well. So yeah, that was enjoyable. Hope you all enjoyed that. And I'll see you guys in the next cast of the Rise of the Witch King, patch 2.2. See you all next time.